Walt Whitman poems. New Fanmania channel. There is that in me. There is that in me. I do not know what it is, but I know it is in me. Wrenched and sweaty, calm and cool, then my body becomes. I sleep long. I do not know it, it is without name, it is a word unsaid, it is not in any dictionary, utterance, symbol. Something it swings on more than the earth I swing on. To it the creation is the friend whose embracing awakes me. Perhaps I might tell more. Outlines. I plead for my brothers and sisters. DCO, my brothers and sisters. It is not chaos or death, it is form, union, plan. It is eternal life, it is happiness. Walt Whitman W. I celebrate myself, and sing myself. I celebrate myself, and sing myself, and what I assume ye shall assume, for every atom belonging to me is good belongs to you. I loaf and invite my soul. I lean and loaf at my ease, observing a spear of summer grass. My tongue, every atom of my blood, formed from this soil, this air, born here of parents, born here from parents, the same. And their parents the same. I, now 37 years old, in perfect health, begin, hoping to cease not till death. Creeds and schools in abeyance, retiring back a while sufficed at what they are. But never forgotten, I harbor for good or bad, I permit to speak at every hazard, nature without check with original energy. Omeros, Derek Walcott, Antilles, 1930, Book 1, Chapter 1. This is how, one sunrise, we cut down canoes. Philoctete smiled for the tourists, who tried taking his soul with their cameras. Once wind bring the news to the Laurier canals, their leaves start shaking the minute the axe of sunlight hit the cedars, because they could see the axes in our own eyes. Wind lift the ferns. They sound like the sea that feeds fishermen all our life, and the ferns nodded. Yes, the trees have to die, so fist jam in our jacket. 'Cause the heights was cold and our breath making feathers like the mist. We passed the rum. When it came back, it gave us the spirit to turn into murderers. I lift up the axe and pray for strength in my hands to wound the first cedar. Flu was filling my eyes, but I fire one more white rum. Then we advance, for some extra silver, under a sea almond. He shows them a scar made by a rusted anchor, rolling one trouser leg up with the rising moan of a conch. It has puckered like the corolla of a sea urchin. He does not explain its cure. It have some things, he smiles, worth more than $1. He has left it to a garrulous waterfall to pour out his secret down La Sorcière, since the tall laurels fell. For the ground dove's mating call to pass on its note to the blue, tacit mountains whose talkative brooks, carrying it to the sea, turn into idle pools where the clear minnows shoot, and an egret stalks the reeds with one rusted cry as it stabs and stabs the mud with one lifting foot. Then silence is sawn in half by a dragonfly as eels sign the names along the clear bottom sand. When the sunrise brightens the river's memory and waves of huge ferns are nodding to the sea's sound. Although smoke forgets the earth from which it ascends, and nettles guard the holes where the laurels were killed, an iguana hears the axes, clouding each lens over its lost name. When the hunched island was called Ian Alao, where the iguana is found. But, taking its own time, the iguana will scale the rigging of vines in a year, its dewlap fanned, its elbows akimbo, its deliberate tail moving with the island. The slit pods of its eyes ripened in a pause that lasted for centuries, that rose with the arawak smoke till a new race unknown to the lizard stood measuring the trees. These were their pillars that fell, leaving a blue space for a single god where the old gods stood before. The first god was a Gomia. The generator began with a whine, and a shark, with sidewise jaw, sent the chips flying like mackerel over water into trembling weeds. Now they cut off the saw, still hot and shaking, to examine the wound it had made. They scraped off its gangrenous moss, then ripped the wound clear of the net of vines that still bound it to this earth, and nodded. The generator whipped back to its work, and the chips flew much faster as the shark's teeth gnawed evenly. They covered their eyes from the splintering nest. Now, over the pastures of bananas, the island lifted its horns. Sunrise trickled down its valleys, blood splashed on the cedars, and the grove flooded with the light of sacrifice. A gomia was cracking, its leaves an enormous tarpaulin with the ridgepole gone. The creaking sound made the fishermen leap back as the angling mast leant slowly towards the troughs of ferns, then the ground shuddered under the feet in waves, then the waves passed. The Midsummer Sea, the Hot Pitch Road. Derek Walcott, Antilles, 1930. The Midsummer Sea, the Hot Pitch Road. This gra, these shacks that made me. Jungle and razor grass shimmering by the roadside, the edge of art, wood lice are humming in the sacred wood. Nothing can burn 'em out, they're in the blood, they're rose mouths, like cherubs. Sing of the slow science of dying, all heads, with a teacher, a gauzy wing. Up at Forest Reserve, before branches break into sea, I look through the moving grassed window and thought, pines, or conifers of some sort. I thought they must suffer in this tropical heat with their child's idea of Russia. Then suddenly, from their rotting logs, distracting signs of the faith I betrayed, or the faith that betrayed me. Yellow butterflies rising on the road to Valencia stuttering. Yes, to the resurrection. Yes, just is our answer. The gold-robed nunc-dimittis of their certain choir. Where's my child's hymn book, the poems etched in gold leaf, the heaven I worship with no faith in heaven? As the word turned toward poetry in its grief, our bread of life, that only love can leaven. Our Joseph, though no man ever dies in his own country, the grateful grass will grow thick from his heart. You Fanmania channel, if you want you can subscribe. Thank you for doing it.